Hi everyone! Inside Pogo is one of the new projects I've decided to work on this year. Over the next few weeks, you'll get to see some of my ideas in the initial test run for this project. The goal is simple. Take an inside look at everything Pogo Stick related. Get to know the athletes, hear some crazy stories, break down videos, and overall, just build an oral history of Pogo Sticking. These first few test runs I've done have been so much fun. Sitting down, chatting, and just sharing old stories gets me really excited. I'm really looking forward to doing this more. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see, let me know down below. This first episode being released is with Biff Hutchison. We talk about some of our crazy ideas, some of the creations we made, some Pogo Stick mods, ideas we have in the future, and so much more. So sit back and enjoy this conversation with Biff. Woohoo, it's working. I think you might be frozen. Oh no, you're not.
I'm just chilling.
Sweet. How's it going, buddy? Been a while.
Dude, it's been a little while. It's going. Yeah, I'm just chilling. I was working, and then I'm doing this thing.
Were you working just welding or?
Oh, yeah. I work from home, dude. I'm a total, I flipped from pipe fitter guy to couch sitter guy, sitting on the couch working an analyst job slash I do like troubleshooting for like inside program stuff in a company. So like a little bit of JavaScript, a little bit of SQL.
That's vastly different
It's
than welding.
been interesting. Vastly different than welding.
Just a little bit.
I've got a welder in the garage, so I split it up.
Good.
Working on welding, working on making money, and yeah, hopefully the new job, a big reason I took the job, because I got a new house and I got a place to train. So this spring, hopefully I'm doing a job I can work my own hours, work in the middle of the night if I want, and I can actually pogo again. So I'm going to see if I can, and we'll see what happens.
That's exciting. With your 7 high jump mats.
Yeah, I got a lot of high jump mats. I got a lot of mats.
I got one. Right, so the whole plan of this, it kind of just randomly started. I wanted to kind of just get an inside look of jumpers because every other sport has it. Every other sport, you know the athletes. Pogo sticking is just like, oh, it's the pogo guy. Oh, look, it's the same pogo guy. No, that's someone completely different. Oh, I saw you here.
Pogo guy.
So there's no real distinction and no place where everyone just kind of gets to know everyone. So I figured, why not do a little inside look at all the athletes? And as they're doing that, slowly build an oral history of pogo sticking.
I love it. I think that's a fantastic idea.
That's my plan. So we're going. So
I'm excited.
So pretty much just
take these off. This is heavy.
How heavy is that?
That's like 15 years heavier.
How many of those did you make?
Years. How many what?
How many of those did you make?
I don't have the 3D printer, so these are all.
That's true.
These are all natural.
All real, earned.
All real.
So nothing too formal, kind of just free flowing. I kind of have a couple of things that guide the conversation, but we're just going to talk for a little bit. The first thing I want to kick off with is your first memory of pogo sticks, because everyone always asks when you got your first pogo stick. But what's your first memory? Do you have a memory before you had a pogo stick?
Yeah, my friend Matanaga had a pogo stick, and I went to his house when I was like really young. I want to say like 10 or 11. Yeah, he had a foam master. He could do no hands. I couldn't even jump, and I think I went to his house like twice, maybe 2 or 3 times. That was pretty bad. And then it was like a while later that I actually I got my own. But yeah, definitely It's my first memory. Was in
How
Matt Tanaka's slanted driveway.
how old were you in
As a
Matt and
child.
Naga's slanted driveway?
I was like 11 years old.
Oh, nice.
And, I mean, maybe I had seen them, but that was definitely my first time trying one.
And when did you get your own?
Um,
And what kind of pogo was it?
so I want to say it was like 6 months. I was like 11. I remember being 11 when I got my Pogo, so it had to have been then. I went to a store in Twin Falls because there's nothing in Burley. You get a Pogo stick.
I can confirm.
I
I've been
went
there.
to a store and they had an Ergo on the wall. Like it just come out, I think. This is like 2004. Yeah, I believe so.
I
And
remember the year goes.
it was like $80. I was like, oh crap, I gotta get $80. And I think I begged my mom and like I think I was doing like chores and stuff trying to make money because I bought that. And I was so excited because I just wanted to like jump up and down this one step at my mom's house. And that was like one of the first things I learned how to do. I thought I was really hardcore for a minute. I was wearing like a full face camo photo helmet I had on my motorcycle.
Why have I never seen these?
There's no footage. There's no. This was pre me knowing that there was an extreme pogo that other people were doing this. I thought I had this idea.
Did you watch like X Games and other extreme sports to get the idea of extreme pogo, or?
I mean, I was just all about the extreme. Like I was rock climbing a lot. I remember watching. I had watched Planet X as a kid as well. Watch X Games every time it was on. Yeah, there was. I was actually watching Gravity Games also at the time. I can't remember what channel this was, but way back, like as a child, I was watching Gravity Games.
That's an old one.
So I know I was wanting to always do tricks. I couldn't skate. Like I was a really little kid, so like when I didn't know how, I didn't really have like a skateboard I was borrowing. Like my friends had some skateboards I tried. Um, I jump around on like a bike, but I thought I was into like kind of obscure things. Like I thought Pogo was so unique. I thought it was cool. I was like, I bet you could do some tricks on these. And so that's kind of what got me going. And then, yeah, it was later that I stumbled upon, I believe it was your video. Hard to say where exactly it was. I think
MySpace.
it was. I want to say it was an Ask Jeeves search that sent me to MySpace or something
geez.
like that. Yeah, then I was like, oh man, there's more to the story. I want to do
funny.
that thing. So
that's funny.
So yeah, that was kind of the foundation there.
So how old are you now?
26.
So you've been jumping for how many years? Can you do the math?
17. No. That's all right. 15 years. 15 years.
That was some good mathematics right there.
It takes me a second.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I get there.
So of your 15 years, I want you to try to give the 30-second ad. Doesn't have to be 30 seconds, but your quick ad of your Pogo career. Just the highlights.
What kind of an ad is
just like the highlights. Just highlights. If you had 30 seconds.
Highlights?
Yeah, if you had 30 seconds to describe everything you've done in the last 15 years, what would make the cut?
Okay. Starting now.
Go for it.
I started out, I was not good at it, and then I kept falling off and trying to get better. Then sometime I got pretty good, and I debatably won this competition for Big Air Pro when I was 14 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pogopalooza 6. Then at some point I won a bunch of these other medals and a bunch of these trophies, and I've been all around the world. to some of my favorite places with Fred Guzbowski. And then I got married, and then I kind of wasn't doing shows all the time. And then I went to another Pogo Palooza, and I didn't do as bad as I thought I would. And I think those were these ones from Pittsburgh again. And now I'm trying to Pogo again.
That's good. That was great.
Okay. I really rehearsed that.
I can tell.
Practicing that for a while.
So out of all those trophies that you have in front of you, which one's your favorite? There's another one on the other side too. Don't forget about that one.
Yeah, this one too. I got mixed feelings with this one.
I'm
really proud of it.
What is that one?
This is for best trick in Pittsburgh again, 2014.
Big
I did a really twisty front flip that I thought was pretty 540. Like, turns out the internet does not agree with that, but I don't really care. I don't really care, but it is a little tainted for me. I'd like to do that legit more. So favorite, I don't know. This one honestly was really, really up there. This was my first one. This one I just really like was high jump in Sweden.
What place did you get?
First place.
Oh, nice.
In high jump. That was like the only contest. I remember.
That was the only thing we did. I got third place in high jump.
Yes. I remember we were eating a sandwich or something. And then they were all like, where the hell are Fred and Biff?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Jump right now.
Because it was raining all day, and then there was like an hour window where it wasn't raining. So we went to go get lunch.
We were like close, like a block away, trying to eat, and big rush to get to the event. I remember that. I'm trying to find this one.
I always forget.
This is probably my favorite.
I always forget that like I went to Sweden because that trip was so stuck inside. It was like, it's raining. And we jumped for an hour and a half, and it's raining again.
Yeah, I remember a few really good park sessions, and then a lot of rain and a little bit of high jump. And then me and you went to Turkey, Dimitri, right after that. So we were like in Europe for some time.
Good long while. And there were I remember that was right when a few protests were going off in Turkey, so it was a little sketchy.
Yeah, I remember reading the news when we get back.
I'm pretty sure there was a travel advisory. It's like, don't go in crowded areas.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
We had the security to the event. We were kind of like escorted to and from the hotel. I remember me and Dimitri went running around town, and it wasn't the safest thing. But a lot of dogs, a lot of really cute dogs running around Istanbul.
And Brian Shaw.
And Brian Shaw.
He took that.
Different kind of dog.
He took the attention away from us. Just everyone.
That's true. Did you jump out of did you bungee?
I did not bungee.
Forum Istanbul.
I did not.
Because I often think about that bungee jump.
I did not. I was not up for that.
Well, if my memory serves, I was way too high because it was like 100 meters minimum, but I want to say higher. And the basket was real rickety. I remember it was very sketchy.
I know I passed. I was like, nah, you can go. I'll film it.
But also fun.
Definitely.
Also fun.
What's the trophy that you were holding? That you said might be your favorite? This is
probably my favorite, maybe. Big Air Pro from New York City, Palooza 10.
Ooh.
I don't know. That was a fun one. I had a lot of fun. I felt like I was pretty dialed in that year. And I'm probably more excited about Palooza 10 in memory because I did high jump, but think I'm most proud of that trophy.
You know what else happened at Palooza 10?
Didn't we try a stupid backflip on it?
We tried a stupid backflip on a tandem stick.
Mm-hmm.
We were close.
We were very close.
We would have had it.
The pegs.
I have the handlebars.
Right now. I've been looking for those handlebars.
I have them. They're in my basement.
So
the flagpole that we cut in California.
Yes. Just so if Panyat's reading, because Panyat commissioned me to make him some really cool handlebars, and I've been looking for. Like, I'm out of handlebars. I'm like supposed to be getting some handlebars soon. But I was like, oh, I'm going to make Panyat's handlebars out of the handlebars for the tandem stick. I can't find them anywhere.
They're in my
basement. Makes sense.
In my basement.
They're in your basement. Okay.
Yeah, that was my flagpole from California that we cut up because that was the only thing long enough we could use.
Classic. I remember the first. Those pegs were ridiculous.
They were wooden.
So crazy.
The pegs definitely broke before we tried a backflip. I remember taking that tandem pogo stick apart, and as I was unscrewing the wood, the pegs just completely fell apart. So
I bet they were broke like when we first got on it.
Absolutely. I don't know. We did a pretty good job at 2x4ing that thing up.
I know. It was just I remember the shaft too, man.
I'm pretty sure
I love that shaft.
If we had a second attempt, we would have gotten it if we didn't bend that shaft at 45 degrees.
Oh yeah.
So close. That was
So I'm thinking we need some sort of a reinforcement.
Or we just
a medium shaft. I think we got it.
Or now that there's not
just land it.
Yeah, just land it. Now that there's not a 50-pound weight difference between us, it might be a little bit easier. I just remember I flipped faster, you flipped higher, and then your momentum just launched me. I did a flip and a half.
Yeah. There's some sort of slingshot effect.
A little bit. Totally doable.
I am. How much do you weigh now?
I'm 160-ish.
Okay, so how much were you there?
I'm 120, 130.
So there, I was 210.
Oh.
You were 130. That's 80 pounds. Now I'm 175. You're 160. I think that's a little more agreeable also.
A little bit. Oh, that's fine. I didn't realize you were that much heavier. That's crazy.
That's a lot more than you.
Yeah, maybe I might have been a little bit more. Maybe I was 130, 140. But I definitely was not over 145 for sure.
Yeah. I was inspecting the tandem pegs I have. Aluminum ones, and they're very rock and roll, man. Pretty excited.
You got the pegs, I got the handlebars. Let's go.
There we go.
Making a comeback. Pogo Kings.
Pogo Kings comeback. I just need some sort of a park because I don't have any park.
Oh, I got something in my backyard over here.
Pogo Kings Park.
There it is. That's good. So going back on your trophies, the first one that you said that was your favorite, I think, was your first Pogo Palooza?
Yes, that's the one.
Which Pogo Palooza was that? And tell me about it.
This was Pogo Palooza 2009, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Somebody wrote, I believe it was Nick McClintock wrote, Bigger Pro Gold.
Look at that.
Cool thing is, all the people wrote on the back of this. You got some real,
I like
real great signatures here.
I like that you suck, not really.
You suck, not really.
Good job.
Nick did another one of his woobabs on the deal here. I think that's it. Hammett Posse for life.
Why would I write that you sucked there? Do you know why?
Because okay. Here's what. Let me tell you. I was a 14-year-old boy who just did pretty good at a contest, and I thought I won because they told me I won. Fast forward 1 year, my mom's like slips up. It says something about, "Well, are you gonna really win this year?" or something like that. And I said, "What? Hold up. What are you talking about?" Well, Fred won Pittsburgh and just let you win. And I didn't know. So for an entire year, my best friends and my family kept a very bad secret from me. And I guess that's what happened. Because I guess
From what I
I
know,
don't
I
know.
think it was our
I guess we
best
tied.
run was a tie, and then if we went to like the second run, I would have won. But they told me it's like
So
we're
you
gonna.
should have won.
Well, I was. They told me was like we're gonna just give it to Biff because he's the new guy, and it'll mean a lot to him. So I might have been a little bitter when I signed your trophy.
Well, we can split custody. I've had it for a few years.
Is that
How long ago was this? 2009.
Pogapalooza
That
6,
is
right? Yeah. Did we hung out right
8 years
before that,
ago.
right? Was that we hung out on the Pogo adventure right before that? Was that
Hung
that
out
year?
in Salt Lake City. Yes. That was like July, and I
Yeah.
think Palooza was in August.
So I taught you how to front flip, and then you beat
Taught
me.
me how to front flip. I did a scissor kick, um, and I beat you.
Awesome. Was
I definitely did slidey flip to backflip before you, and you did it in your run because you did your run before me. And I was a little salty about that because that was gonna be my big shebang,
I think I was eyeing it up the whole time, and then you did it before me.
baby.
I think the first thing I said was like, "Oh, someone needs to do a backflip off that," or "I'm going to do a backflip off that." That's funny. Um, so Pogopalooza wasn't your first time jumping with people. I guess the Pogo adventure was. Was that your first time when we came?
Yeah. So like I jumped with some guys here. There's like local, like 4 or 5 people. Um, but yeah, as far as jumping with anybody that I had like seen online and that wasn't in my immediate vicinity was definitely Pogo Adventure.
And what was that? What was that like? Just showing up and it's like, oh, I
Yeah,
got people to pogo with now.
that was ridiculous. Like it was you guys were like way better in person than like even in the videos. I was like blown away. Um I don't know. I remember we pulled up at Dave Armstrong's house. You guys were unloading. Dave Armstrong was at work. I got on the mini fly bar and did an Olbs on it,
I don't know
which
how you did that.
I couldn't do ever again. And that's been tried a lot
I'm
more.
pretty sure that's the only one that's ever been done on it.
But yeah, I just remember that I was like, I've got to make these people like think I'm serious about this. These are the forefront of the deal of the movement. So like you let me backflip one of your fly bars. I was like so scared. Um, but I think yeah, we went and sesh that day. Can't remember where we were. We were at some campus maybe,
I think yeah, we went to
like the
some
little
campus.
amphitheater in Salt Lake.
Then Josh Mazza
Yeah,
just showed up randomly
Josh Mazza. Yeah,
and does a
content,
backflip
which
out of
was
nowhere.
incredible.
It's like, okay, I guess you do backflips now.
Right? You did a double dismount.
I
You did a
did.
couple double dismounts,
I
I think.
did.
You did like two. Yeah, I did that front flip. I think it was like I tried a few in that grass, and then I landed one. We had done some sync stuff, like sync wraparound.
Yeah, we did do a wraparound. You jumped off the stage, I think.
Um, jumped off the stage.
That was
Or
my.
me and you and Nick did a 3-sync back at the end, and Nick had to change the timing in the edit because he wasn't jumping at the same time as me. You were.
That was my first bomb drop to front flip. Is in that episode.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was the first one ever done.
I remember that clip. I remember that.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite clips. I just love the way it looks because it was like starting to rain too. If you look at the clip, it's like you see like a couple of raindrops on the camera. It was getting a little sketchy.
And you were just blasting on that 1000 too.
Yeah, that was the year of the 1000. That I had probably like 3 or 4 really good ones.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's when I had Biggie. That was my extra long modified flybar shaft. 10, I want to say 1200 bands inside the 800 with a taller shell as well. So I had a custom. I cut a shell, drilled the holes wider, and then got longer bolts. So bolted a shell on top of a shell just so the piston had like 3 more inches of travel. Which apparently, if you stretch rubber too far, it snaps a lot faster. And those bands are already pretty good quality. You know, they never snapped, but
yeah, they never broke all the time.
Yeah, they never broke all the time.
I still got one of your tall 8 shells in my garage.
That's fancy. I have a bunch of shells. I just don't even know what to do with it. I know one of them was part of my double pogo, which was throwing me off because my lower half was taller than my top half. And I was like, why is this weird? Because like, you know, the one shell was taller than the other, and I just didn't realize it until I took it apart and tried to pack it. I was like, oh, this is a tall shell.
There you go. Nice.
So speaking of Pogo Palooza, what's your best memory of from a Pogo Palooza?
Dude, I don't know. There's a lot of good memories of Pogo Palooza.
It doesn't have to be your best. We can do top 3. I'm really bad at picking out bests or favorites. If you want to just do like top 3 that come in mind, that's a little bit easier for me.
Top 3. I can maybe do top 3. Top 3. One, I first did 10 feet in Florida. I stick flipped it in the sesh before the event, and Mina went right after. One of the best. 2, when you at that same Palooza were just doing all backflips down the stair set and having absolute zero regard for any of your safety. And 3 was when I was in an ambulance in France and Kurt came in with his arm in the shape of a noodle. Those are my 3 favorite Palooza.
Ooh, good memories.
Good times.
Oh yeah, 10 feet. That was huge. Huge milestone.
So stoked on 10 feet. It was so exciting.
Now,
and I think because Mina did that old rodeo tuck over it too, I think. And it was just like bam bam up club 10 feet.
He was doing that.
Stoked.
You only did that for like 1 year. That weird tuck.
That was definitely the day of weird high jump techniques.
I know I was trying, I think it was maybe in the year after that. Was that the same year? Or next year? I was in Florida. The following year we were in Philly, right? Yes, the following year.
I think it was even the same year. I think those were all 1 year, right? They were all
because there was a Philly one, there's a Florida one, and then there was the Pittsburgh one.
2 Philly ones.
And we're stumped.
Wonder how much of these conversations will be trying to figure out how many Paloozas ago or what Palooza this was.
Yeah, that batch right there between like after 10, like that, it was like 11 through, I don't know, we stopped calling them stopped numbering them after.
There's the U.S. Open, because this is from 2015 U.S. Open. Then there was 2015 World Finals. 2015 World Finals.
It's 20
because it was
15
Philly and Florida, and I think was it Sweden?
So Sweden, France, and Pittsburgh were 1 year. I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right. What was this? Because
I think that was the year before.
So got trophies from 3 different events in 2015.
So maybe it was Sweden, France.
2014.
Okay, so it was Sweden, France.
That's from Sweden.
Sweden, France, right. And Pittsburgh 2014, and then Florida, Philly 2015. Maybe. We're probably way wrong.
We might be way wrong.
So that whole batch is when I get confused on which Palooza was which.
Yeah. I'm confused anyways. Yeah. Because here's Pogo Palooza Sweden 2014. Pogo Palooza 2014.
That was in where's that one at? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. But I thought there was something in Philly.
I think it was 2015.
I thought there was 2 events in Philly. 2015.
I think there's only one. I think there's only been one in Philly.
Oh, it was Florida and then Philly. That's what
I think so. Yeah.
And I think that's right. Sounds right.
We'll go with it.
We'll go with it. Can roll with it.
If we were wrong, whoops. So going back on like Mina's tuck, that was the year of the weird tucks. That whole range, because it was like stick flips were allowed, and then Mina started doing that weird rodeo sort of tuck, and then I was trying to do like a Batman tuck up, land back on, tuck.
And then Demetrius just doing that peg grab. Still doing that peg grab.
Straight up peg grab over, and that was the year that I was supposed to break the record on Japanese TV. Mm-hmm. And when we started filming the show, the record I think was 9 feet. And then that was the year of multiple Paloozas, because then it got broken. It was 9.5 feet, or just over 9.5. So I was like, okay, I can do 9.5. And then you did 10. And then I was like, now I got to go over 10. So it was like, I was expecting the height I had to jump just grew over a foot in a matter of like 6 months.
Yeah.
And
never thought of that with the timing of your show.
Oh, it was miserable because everything. That was definitely in Philly, because I had to go, because it happened in Florida. The record was broken. And then did you break it again in Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I remember I filmed in Florida.
6 in Philly.
That's what happened. Yeah, so like I filmed part of the show, and then the record was broken. So then we filmed another part of the show, and then the record was broken again. So then I filmed the final segment, and I had to jump over 10.5 feet. I was only planning to jump 10 feet. And, it just wrecked me. Right? Oh, it's all right. The pogo stick ended up destroying me. Show. Yeah, it was just that year. That pogo stick was so good.
Oh. I've got the shell. That's my main shell. At least it was this fall when I was pogoing. That black one. Well, I've got it set up really tall because I was trying some flips. I got my new mats this fall.
Nice.
I'm planning on, I don't know. I got like 3 options for high jump shells, and then trying to get like a trick set up. It's not so long.
I have no setup at the moment for high jump. I might just try and use that stick I was supposed to break the record on in 2015, apparently. Maybe I'll start practicing with that again. So funny. So going back to crazy things, like the 10 foot back to back was pretty crazy. What other Like, what are the top 3 craziest things you've witnessed? Doesn't have to be at Palooza, just in Pogo.
Three craziest things I've witnessed. Oh man, that's gotta go through a lot of years here.
I'm coming in
I
with the tough
mean,
questions here.
part of me immediately wants to say I saw like, damn, I want to do a stick flip on my instant messenger. But as far as like I've been there in person, and that's hard to think. Um, okay, part of me is saying that watching Tone Stops do backflip the 1200 was one of the most interesting things I've seen. Um, Frick, Mark Aldridge jumping out of a window in Italy down the stairs just to gravel. Just freaking center, face plant, slam, slide in the gravel and the rocks. That was so gnarly for like the first thing. Like we had to do this.
Is that
This
in
is
a
like a hotel people are at.
is that in a video
It's in
somewhere?
the Rome video, yeah. Like Ex Pogo, something Rome, when in Rome, I believe. Just so intense. Like Mark's so gnarly for that. Alton Smith breaking both his knees and his face, and that was insane. Forget the question if it was insane or
That's good.
amazing.
I said craziest thing, so I think
Um,
that covers
Craziest.
pretty crazy
That's
things.
covered.
Yeah, the Dalton was pretty crazy.
When you did your backflip 180 to the bottom of the mega ramp on a tricycle was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. That was crazy. There's been so many crazy things. It's hard. I could go on crazy things
So what do you
for an
think the
hour.
limits are? Do you think we're reaching the limits, plateauing, or there's so much more to be done?
No, I think that as long as there's people like us, like not to overgeneralize, but people that are adventurers that are like wanting to push the limits in this niche thing. Um, how can I put this? Like there's some sort of a common theme. And it was more prevalent when the sport was young. Like me and Tone had a similar style at some point in time. We got the same passion for this thing. His went into a handrail. Mine went into trying to do flips pretty much exclusively. Like as long as there's people that are taking that original thing as far as they can. I look at all the people like out there every day doing this. And there's people wanting to jump higher. Like as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna be wanting to jump higher. I've been making pogo sticks. You've been making pogo sticks. Why would we do this, Fred? Because we want to jump higher, because we want to do something crazy or something dumb.
Speaking on
And I
that, what do you
think I
think?
will
Oh,
always do this.
what do you think needs to be done to jump higher
Um,
without giving away
Figure
too many
out.
secrets? I don't know if you have secrets that you can't give away.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yes
Uh,
and no. I have things I'm working on. I'm trying to figure out, because I'm not a scientist, Fred. I wish I was a lot of the time. And I spend a lot of my time trying to learn how to be a scientist. Because do I want to know, like, okay, what is the energy transfer? Do I want a lot of volume at a lot of pressure? Do I want a smaller volume at more pressure? What's energy? What's Am I going to get high? Am I going to get more push with more air, exerting more energy? Or am I going to get more push with less air that's got a lot more pressure? A lot of these questions I'm working out. I've got a stick I haven't tested yet, really. That
Can you
I
tell us
was
about it?
testing. Yeah, it's fine. I've been working through some flaws in the design, cosmetically and mechanically. Basically, my goal was I need to put in a lot more air, but I don't want to add mass. Um, Even though I think that I want to add mass now, I have other designs that I don't really want to talk about. But this design that's done, I will talk about. This was my stab at a lightweight, like auxiliary chamber, where I can put so many more cubic inches of air and have very little drag in its dispersion into the main cylinder. So I drilled a big hole, 2.5 inches, and I welded on a coupling piece with a miter, trying to only have one bend there. Like I use a lot of knowledge that I acquired in weld and pipe for 2 years, being like a fabricator to TIG weld. Like this is thin wall 060 aluminum, dirty aluminum pipe weld into 1/8 inch, um, vertigo tube aluminum. So like put a lot of time in this thing with the goal of maybe I got a little more volume and it gets me going a little higher. Because Dimitri uses a large, and this is like, I don't know what the equivalent would be. Then I have the math written down somewhere of how many cc's this is, how many it added. I want to say I added like 170 cc's. Not cubic centimeters, cubic inches. Another thing, how often do me and you fight about metric? And
all my 3D prints are in metric, so if you want a part printed, I need to know the metrics. But I just want to reiterate what you're saying. So you have a tube. Do I have anything in here? I don't. You have a tube, and then in front of that tube, you cut a hole and you added another little baby tube.
Baby tube, right. A little tank welded to a big tank. And so I pumped this baby up, put a high jump shaft in it.
So if this is my main tube, you weld it on a tube.
There's your little, yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
With tubes and camera lens and mugs. But Matt Miller comes over. I set this up with the hole so that my seal on my tallest shaft has a 1/4 inch below the hole in the shaft.
That's pretty close.
I got to get the most out of it. So, and where the weld distorted it, there's a little catch about a 1/2 inch from the top, which I can tell when I'm jumping. It's kind of nice. But set this whole thing up, and it had a little leak because it's dirty aluminum, and one of the aluminum wants to blow up while the other one is not even melted yet. So to weld this has been a lot of time. I want to say, like, I've been working on these things for like 10 months. I spent a lot of time on these. Yeah, me and Matt set it up, and we're jumping very high. It did have like a leak, but we'd put like 120 in, and I let him go first because I was 80% sure it wasn't going to blow up, but I didn't want it to blow up into my face. Yeah, it didn't blow up, and we were jumping really high. So my garage, or I have a shed out by my concrete slab, which is where I'm going to have that concrete directly to the foam that's flat. But there's a shed along the side, and that roof was like 9 feet, and we were only like 110 psi, maybe 115, well over the roof, not nearing high jump pressures yet. So that's something I'm very excited to kind of push. Running the math on the burst pressure of 060 aluminum pipe, it's a little hairy depending on where I'm reading this from, so I'm kind of taking it slow.
What pressure do you normally jump on for high jump?
When I did 11 feet, I jumped at 160 psi. And that was on a different stick that had like it had a little bit more air than this other stick I'm working on, but not a whole lot more. Just set up differently. Where I had the 2 shells. That one I'm not worried about blowing up because that's It's 1/8 inch and 1/8 inch and 1/8 inch plugs and heavy stuff, heavy duty. I'm kind of doing the opposite where I'm putting all my eggs in this one basket on the front that I
Are
was
you,
thinking I want to have some sort of a cover on the front.
just in case you
The
accidentally
Pogo's
make
in, just in case it blows up.
an accidental cannon.
Yeah. I think it'd be all right.
Just put a bungee around it. Just ratchet strap it on.
There is another issue with the stick that I don't like to talk about. But in version 1, it looks like a wiener, basically, on the stick. So now I've added like some supports on the side. One, because before if you dropped it, that is probably going to cave in. So now I've got like a lot of support there, and hopefully it looks less like a wiener.
Trying to see if I can pull this up really fast.
I try not to get a lot of videos or photos of it out in the public sphere.
Yeah, I'll just post just a quick little screenshot just to everyone can see what you're talking about.
It's a work in progress. I'm just trying to see how high I can go on a pogo stick, okay?
Hilarious. That's definitely one of the more creative high jump. What other crazy things have you built? So far we've talked about the tandem pogo, crazy high jump sticks. What else have you made or in the works? I see those fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, I got something in the works, but it's not even on paper. It's on paper, kind of.
We don't have to talk about that one, but we can go into anything in the past.
We got to talk about it later, though. In the past, what have we made? The Holy Roller was an awesome idea. And Ryan Meyer, kind of his idea. We kind of made it in my grandpa's shop real late one night.
I forgot about the Holy Roller.
Basically, we're like, bushings suck. All that friction, bushings are real lame. At the time, like I was chopping bushings and drilling holes and trying to like get an understanding of surface friction. But Ryan Meyer's like, dude, let's do rollers. Let's do wheels. We go to the thrift store. We get some Heelys. We lucked out there because they haven't had Heelys since. But we're like, we get this idea where we're going to grind a V groove in the Heely wheel to accommodate the shaft. And then we kind of do that. We get a rough fit up, take a reciprocal saw, no real hard measurements or anything, and just hack the guts out of a set of pegs. Leave enough on the sides that we think won't snap. Eyeball a hole, drill some holes, put some big old like 1/2-inch bolts all the way through, sandwich everything together, and it worked really well. It didn't snap, and it was as smooth as you can expect from a hand milled V groove in a bearing. Like,
in a Heely wheel.
Great, a little wobbly. There's a lot of play on the sides, no real tolerance, but the concept was really good. I think you'd run into a lot of problems, but if you set that up legit, it'd be really smooth. It's a good idea.
It would stick with roller bearings in it. It's really smooth. I have 2 different versions, and I made one of my own.
Yeah.
Which is
You printing out the bearings?
No, not printing out.
Printing out the groove for the roller.
Printing out the groove for the roller. So I've done that. And then I noticed if you just reduce the friction, the shaft's a little wobbly, but then it's almost as even as having the rollers in there. Like it's so minute.
Float in the middle.
Yeah, if you float in the middle, it's so minute though that we're talking fine tuning it or that last little height.
I think if you had a way to really do it with the real tolerance, you got like a real mill doing single roller, but you only have 4 points of contact with a ceramic bearing. You got those placed within the tolerance of a couple thou. Like, That'd be your best till you land sharp and break one of the bearings.
Just gotta go straight up.
It's gotta go. It works great if you don't have any angle.
That's we need to make a high jump bar. I think is our next project we should do. Make a high jump bar that's on wheels. So you don't have to jump over it, you just jump up and someone drives it underneath you.
That's such a smart idea. I was gonna set up. I want to set up over my pit. I want to have it on track so that I can get the distance I want to where I'm jumping well into the foam because I'm doing high jump practice in the foam. I got another idea to make things work elsewhere. But for high jump practice, I want to have it so I can have the bar over the foam. So you just make longer tracks. You could have the high jump bar wherever you want.
Yeah. Just attach a PVC pipe to 2 drones, and then you can just raise and lower the drones together.
It's an expensive clip of the piston there, though.
Those drones are beefy.
Beefy drones.
Yeah.
You want to buy the drones? I think we can try it.
I mean, yeah, if you land on a drone, that might hurt a little bit.
I hurt a little bit.
A little drone cuts. I think just get like 2 RC cars, and then build a high jump bar on the RC cars, and you can literally just have someone drive it.
RC trucks.
Perfect. Let's head them up.
There you go.
I think that'd be really funny. That'd be really awesome to see how much higher you could go if you didn't have to jump over the bar. If someone literally drove it underneath you.
I think this is well within easy. Like this would be easy to set up.
I know. This is a new video idea.
I got big plans this spring.
It's good.
It's a great idea. That leads a lot to. Nobody's ever jumped over a moving car, Fred.
I was supposed to do this for a TV show. There's a TV show that was on Discovery.
Oncoming car.
Yeah. What was it called? Daredevil something? Daredevil Nation. Or Stunt Junkies,
right.
Maybe. I don't remember what the show was called. I think it might have been Stunt Junkies, where they were just setting up, they had people just set up these elaborate stunts. And I was in contact with them, and that was the plan, to jump over a moving car. So I have plans drawn out how to do it safely. But then the show only lasted, I haven't done it. The show only lasted 1 season, so I didn't make it on the next season. I don't know where they are. This was probably like 10 years ago, at least. But to do it...
I'd like to compare notes. I mean, I've had it...
To do it...
I think I've got an idea.
Safely, you would just need a very good driver, for one. Yeah, decent.
Just gotta be able to hit the same speed.
Yeah, and then you just need markers on the ground. So the car, you can see the car driving over markers, and then you need a window of your takeoff point. So the car's as soon as the car passes a certain point, you know that's where your takeoff spot. So your takeoff, you're going to start on a box, bomb drop into it.
Mm-hmm.
You can just bomb drop off.
So
you have a platform, the car's driving this way, and you can just drop this way, and the car can drive underneath, or you can drop in front. For the show, the plan was to have like a tower, jump off the front of the box and have the car drive underneath and then through the tower, and then like there's explosions.
So crazy.
You know, all that stuff. That was like the ultimate goal.
When, was that Steve-O did a drop off a car driving through like a porta potty or something?
Yeah.
He really like broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's my idea.
Yeah, I was thinking we do it way more simple. Like remember when we did the flip over the drift trike?
I do now, yes.
Okay, so we just timed it out. I think I was doing it on like 7 bounces, and I can't remember who was pushing who was on the, I think Ryan was on the trike, maybe Ponyat was pushing Ryan. We got that timed out. My plan is to do the same thing. I'll do 7 bounces, and I'll have somebody drive by like a bunch of times And then when it's real close for 10 times, then you can just move I would just have to go like 4 feet to the left or 4 feet to the right.
There's a lot of variables in yours. Mine has one variable. The car's going at the same speed. You jump off. One variable.
Okay, we might. I feel like we'll have to when we get it together. Like if Pogo Kings are gonna do one legendary stunt, we might as well do this.
On the tandem pogo?
I was just about to say, because I think I could trust you driving a car at me, but I mean, we could do it on the tandem pogo too.
That's
It would require a little practice on our tandem jumping.
a little bit. Imagine bomb dropping that. That's one thing we never did.
I don't know about bomb dropping cast aluminum pegs. I don't know how it would work.
That'd be interesting.
Very interesting.
Oh man, I want to try it. But I think you would be the better driver than me. Just remember me driving your truck?
Yeah, that's true. I would definitely drive a car right at you if you wanted to.
I mean, just to be clear, that was like, I'm not very good at driving stick, but I gave it. We were going.
You were right in the thick of it.
We were. That was not some easy terrain.
Not like a beginner course. Yeah, not the easiest place to learn.
I was visiting Biff. Quick story time, and it's raining, and there's this mud path, and I think it was your idea. I was like, just don't stop, just go right through it. You'll be fine. Just put it in.
We're on the road. Yeah, on the road next to a field, and that field had been very wet. It had been raining since, and a lot of mud. So I knew from experience that if you were holding 45 miles an hour, you'd make it to the other side of this field. That's kind of different, a little bit different said than done when you're not great at driving stick.
Yeah,
and
I was managing.
I mean, it's a little sketchy to try and keep in the top of second gear there, third gear.
I think I was a little slow shifting, and that might have did me in. I think I shifted as soon as we hit the mud, and we just started spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something.
Remember, we had my dog Cuddy in the cab with us.
Started doing some loop-de-loops almost, but it's okay. I pushed us out.
We got it. Better did.
So good.
Beautiful.
So final few things. We can wrap this on up because we've been going almost an hour already. Rapid fire questions right here.
Okay.
What's the hardest trick you think you've done?
Hardest trick I've done? Probably old Sanofa Cannonball. I did for the end of my last solo video. I'm not good at those. I'm not good at tricks.
This next one might be harder. What's the stupidest trick you've done? Doesn't have to be hard, just stupid. So an example I like to use is like 180 wrap landing in candy bar.
Yikes.
Stupid.
Yikes. Very stupid.
That's like my favorite example. That's just a stupid trick. It's not hard. It's scary. And stupid.
Stupidest trick. I can think of a lot of stupid things I've done. Like that China thing. That China wall is real dumb. Like, as a trick, bomb drop to front flip. Not that stupid. Do it on a wall on the edge of a cliff. One of the stupider things I've done. In France, when I was trying to do the Webster for like an hour, like that's not necessarily a stupid trick, but then doing it so long that the one time you land, your legs aren't going to be underneath you, and you land right on your ass from 10 feet. Real stupid outcome.
That one still needs to be done.
I think the stupidest trick I've tried was at Palooza 10, because I just set up 2 4-foot boxes, top, and I was gonna jump off the top down and do a backflip. And I got up there and I went way too tall. Better drop to peg stall and then do the backflip. When I dropped to peg stall, I think that's what happened. Now I'm completely second guessing that whole thing. For whatever reason, I ended up way off balance. Jumped and half flipped right to my back. Started the run.
Speaking of half flipping, the time you tried to backflip up the 4-foot box.
That was another stupid
Yeah.
idea. Like, it was cool and it worked, but
Not the first time.
I flipped the tip one time.
Yeah, oh, that was terrifying.
One of my harder slams.
That was terrifying.
One of my harder. You don't have a lot of time to react because I was jumping 8 feet high and I got caught up 4 feet.
On the way down.
4 feet to the ground, man. Pretty gnarly. I cut like above my eye on my bar end, and I remember thinking that if my bar end was, because my handlebars, it landed like this on the ground, and I head hit here, so like that would have gone right in my face. Could you imagine? What a gnarly.
Or the time in France. I'm remembering all your stupid things now. Because I don't know if you remember this one. You fell, hit your head, and then
I remember up to the fall. And
then you finished your run, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're concussed. And I talked to you after your run, and you don't remember doing your run.
Because that's what I don't. I remember I was jumping up to, I think, the 4-foot box, and I think I just had bad takeoff. Because then, I mean, I've seen the video where I slam my face, but I remember Tone coming up to me talking about a backflip off the box, the 7-foot box. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened?
Yeah.
That was a pretty good fall.
Yeah. I think that covers stupidest.
That's another pretty crazy things.
What is an easy trick that you find hard?
Easy trick that switch judo? It is switch judo. It just doesn't feel right. Judo is one of my favorites. I do a switch. It makes me squeamy. I don't like it.
Good.
Or bar spins. Like, I'm really bad at bar spins.
Yeah, switch 360. So it's terrifying.
Nah, it's not a fan.
We can agree on that. Anything else any easy trick? Oh, your airwalks or your heel clickers?
Not as bad as wraparounds, dude.
Okay.
If I do a wraparound in the sesh, which I did in September, like I was so stoked for like a month. Oh, I can still wrap around. And now if I were to go try it, I bet it'd be like 3 tries minimum. It'd be really scary and I could get it.
That's fair.
It always reminds me of America's Got Talent. We're gonna do no foot peg. We're gonna do wraparound, and I changed the combo. Going onto the stage, I said, "Do a no foot peg grip."
I feel bad. I'm about to call out Russ. We were doing a Cavs game. We did a combo with an airwalk in it, and like as we were practicing, like he didn't do it. He's like, "I just hate no foot. I just hate airwalks." He's like, "I'm probably gonna fall during the show." Like, no, you're not. Whatever. And he fell during an airwalk.
Some of those tricks, man, they'll get you.
And then 2 seconds later, he's doing like the biggest Mandy ever. It's like, yep, that's funny.
Can peg grab. I would never do that in front of a crowd. There's no way.
It's so funny how everyone has their That's a little thing. Switch judo is a good one. They're not hard at all, but they feel so weird, especially if you don't do them for a while.
It's totally wrong.
Yeah, whereas I think it was like last May, I was doing the Pogo all May, I was like, I'll just do a quick combo for the day, like pay, grab, switch, switch 1 foot, 1 foot, switch judo, judo 1 foot, switch judo 1 foot.
Mhm.
And I made it to the switch judo and almost fell.
Yeah.
I was like 3 tricks in, I almost ate it. I was like, okay, whoopsies.
Yeah. It's good to hit those basics every once in a while.
Okay, it's all about them basics.
Mhm.
And then, what trick? Is there like one trick that you landed when you first started out that you're like, yeah, I made it. I'm good at this pogo thing.
Stick flip probably. I think that was when, because I was like the fifth or sixth person, maybe fifth. I don't remember. Yeah, that like at the time that was like the big dang trick to do, man. Holy moly, a stick flip was so hard. I tried it for so long. Um, but like not actually trying it, but like I go out in a session, I could get it around. I'd get it like one time, and I just was so intimidated that I never really tried it. I guess I tried to try it for a very long time. And then Tone got it right. He hit me up on AIM and said, "Dude, I got the stick flip." He landed, and I said, "No, no, no, no! I cannot let this happen." And so I went outside and I started just underhand grabbing the left bar and throwing as hard as I could. That I wasn't going to get my feet involved because I had to save those to get on the pegs. And I just tried it as hard as I could. I had like 90 psi and a medium V3. And the shaft had a little twinge to it because it came to me bent. I remember, like, not a great setup and just jumping so hard trying to get the stick flip. In like 20 minutes, I got my feet on one. I ran in and I had to tell Tone like immediately.
I did it too. That's funny.
Pretty much.
That's funny that you say that you just went underhand and didn't try and use your feet, because you can still say that in your stick flips now. Whenever you do,
Yeah,
whenever you
I've
stick
never
flips,
been
you're
able to kick
up
them.
and you throw it, and your feet just kind of float there. And like Tone, he's just
Yeah,
like, you see him like actually kick it.
Just kick, or Dalton especially. This fall I was just messing around the mats, and Braylon was like, "You switch stick flip." I've never tried a switch stick flip. I've done a tramp pogo, but I tried it, and I tried to kick one, and I got my other hand on. It's like, oh crap! And then even then, I lost that feeling like immediately. Did not kick it again and did not land it.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Tough trick.
When Mina did that stick flip to switch.
Just bonkers.
It's still crazy. Has anyone else done that?
I feel like Dimitri's done switch stick flip,
Hmm.
but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Awesome.
Crazy. My left wrist is worse than my right wrist. I don't love doing stick flips that much anymore.
Yeah, I don't like doing stick flips that much either. Wait, talking about stick flips. There's one story with us. Because
Stick flips.
about stick flips. I don't do stick flips often. But we decided to do stick flips, a sink stick flip in a show. Did it. It was
I
fine.
remember this.
So then it was like, hey, let's do two in a row.
Where was this?
This was at Summerfest. We were doing a show in Summerfest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then
I remember
you're
now.
like, let's do 2 in a row. I think you like bet me or something.
2 in a row, Fred.
And I'm like, I've never done 2 in a row. It's like never. I'm like, okay,
Might have
fine.
been $1 challenge.
Yeah, I think it was. And
I think I had been doing 2 in a row for like weeks.
I
Every like 2.
was like, okay, fine. So we go out there and sink. 1 stick flip, and I'm just like, go for it. 2nd stick flip. I look over. Biff's on the ground.
Not doing so hot.
So
I
want to say I landed 2 stick flips in a row, synced, but you didn't, and
Definitely.
I think that makes me better at stick flips than you.
Yeah, mine. It definitely did that day.
I've never done that again. I probably will never do that again. What's the most stick flips you've done in a
I
row?
haven't 17 in into one of my videos. I think Henry did like 20 something. Like it's so much work, especially when you're not kicking it. My arms are getting real tired.
I remember I did that at the end of one of my videos, but it was underleg bar spin because that was the stick flip of the day. It was like underleg bar spin. So I did
Right.
one of my videos. I think I did like 17, 15, 15 or 17, somewhere in there. Underleg bar spins on the 1200 in a row
Nice.
because that was the big trick. I think stick flip might be a little bit harder.
The turntable.
Do you think stick flip is harder or underleg bar spin on the 1200?
Stick flip probably, but not a lot harder. Like underleg bar spin in 12, you're doing like your body's doing a lot more movement than underleg bar spin.
Yeah, I would just start spinning.
Yeah, you're twisting. I mean, like you also have the up and down. It's like you do it on a vertigo. Like you're pushing the stick down, but you push the stick down on the 12, and you're pushing yourself up.
True.
I remember it really throws me off a little bit.
Big old 1200.
I would love a 1200.
I got a couple in the basement. I mean, if we were neighbors, you can come over and borrow one.
We were neighbors. Look at this room. There's nobody that lives in this room, Fred.
Yeah, what's the weather like outside, though?
Some trophies.
What's the temperature outside right now?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful 14 degrees.
And that makes the 30 degrees that's here in Boston feel warm.
Yeah. I did set up a little ripper stick. Got a little garage stash. I got a room in my basement that's actually like cement floor.
Oh, nice.
I just need a good GG or a good little stick. I'm not a fan of the little ripper too much, but
I was randomly browsing houses online, as I do, and I found a house that had cathedral ceilings, so they had 18-foot ceilings in the living room. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure that means
man.
inside Pogo, but like it was like really nice hardwood floor.
Yeah,
Like,
it wouldn't remain very nice.
It would not. It would also have to be covered up because you would slip out on that so much. But then there was like a ceiling fan, so it was like tall, and then like a ceiling fan right over here. So if you like launched over, if you launched over like 4 feet, you were in a ceiling fan.
Do you remember when you were almost about to buy a church that we were pogoing out?
Yes,
that was a good time.
I almost bought a church. Should have bought a church.
Good times.
Yeah, I was so high on old church. They ended up tearing it down, and I think it's just like a parking lot now.
Crazy flip session that church. Me and you and Mina and Zach Tucker.
I don't remember when that was. That was a long time ago. I had my spotting rig set up.
Mm-hmm. We were doing double flips of faith and double backflip dismount transfers.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the double flip of
crazy
faith.
Superman backflips. Yeah.
I forgot about those. That was when I had to wear a weight vest when I was spotting you because you would just literally lift me up in the air. So I had to put a 20-pound weight vest on, and I still wasn't enough to hold you up.
That was a good times.
Good times.
That rig, man. When that rig was in Cali, Kurt doing stick flips, doing lazy flips. That was a good time.
In my backyard. I put it together once. I made Russ pull me on it for like 30 seconds. We put it together as it started getting dark. And I was like, oh, it goes together so quick, but I haven't put it together in 5 years. So we missed a couple things. So it was dark. It was like, no, we just got to use it. So then we did like 3 tricks in it. It's like, okay, we used it. And then now it's just sitting outside.
There has to be a way that we could set up like a self-retraction system so that it would give you so much resistance all the time. And then you could set it up like a spotting treadmill.
Well, way back when, before the 1200 came out, they set one of those up at Woodward with Andy McDonald. So it was like a bungee system, kind of like the bungee system,
Mhm.
like the trampoline bungees where you get in there. So similar to
yeah.
that. And he did a backflip. This was like way before the 1200 was released. So there's like a rare video. I've
Yeah.
seen it that he does like a backflip and
Wow.
this bungee
He's in
assisted.
the bungee rig.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
That's
remember
crazy.
Joe Verzel jumped on and he said it was so weird because it didn't feel like you were jumping at all. Because you couldn't have
Mhm.
any of the bands on. You had to go down to like 3 or 4 bands, and then the bungees were like doing the rest. He was like, it was just kind of not pogo sticking at all. You couldn't push down, you couldn't feel the ground.
Yeah. Me and Dan Mahoney did that in California, in like Porterville, California, in 2009, I think. Brian Spencer talked one of the guys into moving the trampolines, and we got all rigged up in the bungee and went to jump and just went up and didn't come back down. Ended up getting like 5 psi and then just doing like silly flips, but it was really weird.
Yeah, very similar, I guess.
It's very, yeah, pretty similar, I guess. Pretty wild.
I think the I don't know. I think the human action there needs to be done. You need someone to actually lock it in place.
Somebody needs to make the decision. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
One day,
Or you just have a foam pit,
that too.
or put your rig over the foam pit.
Even better.
I want to have a modular, like a post that's like at the bottom of the foam. My new setup, you got like steel frame, and you got gravel to
Like
like
you can come up and just have foam all
drain.
around you.
Well, no, there's a steel post at the bottom, but it's in the middle of the crack, right? So like
Mhm.
you land on that crack, and you're not gonna go to the bottom. But that steel post will like it's like a hitch, so you can put another steel post inside of it. In that post, you can have a wall, you can have a rail, you can have a platform,
Whatever you
you can
want.
have anything.
Hmm.
Like a modular deal. So like, let's say you want to like front flip into a slanty wall, but that's scary.
It
So
is.
like set it up. So you're gapping over foam onto a distant box. All these ideas I have, friend. I have a lot of ideas for this.
Gotta build them.
You know,
We need a shared yard. We need to be neighbors. And then we
you
can
could
just build
move into
them.
my shed.
Does your shed have a bathroom?
You know,
Is it
but
heated?
you could live in my basement,
Okay.
which does have a bathroom. I
Oh,
got heat.
that's a step
I
up
got
from a
access to the yard.
that's a step up from a shed.
There you go.
Awesome. We'll wrap it up there for now. Biff, thanks for chatting. This was a lot of fun.
Good catching up, Fred. Thanks for having me on. Very excited.
Any shout outs, social media?
Not really. Hit me on Pogo Biff on Instagram. That's about all I do. Half of it's welding and half of it's me thinking or fixing pogo sticks. Very little pogo use. But coming this spring, planning on getting back into the whole professional athlete biz. Best in the West competition. If anyone wants to come to Idaho, enough people want to come on the same day, we can call it good. So let me know sometime this spring. Plan on getting my setup.
Just have it a spread out competition. You come, compete, leave. Next person comes.
That's fine. Come hang out. Come search the pit. As soon as it's not gonna get snowy, I'm gonna dig a big hole. So some
Exciting.
concrete walls in, have it all legit.
That's exciting.
Oh yes, thank you very much, Red.
All right, stay on. Great. Awesome. So I'll cut the video there.